My beloved child, stop scrolling right now. You have exactly 1 hour before a gift arrives, but it's not from heaven. Someone who smiles in your face is preparing a financial trap that looks like a blessing. God says, do not laugh this off. This message is not a coincidence, it's a divine interruption meant to save your destiny. If you ignore this, you will cry tonight. Don't take this message lightly. Don't smile and scroll away. Heaven is not joking tonight. The moment you opened this, the clock of destiny began ticking. You have exactly 1 hour before something disguised as a surprise walks straight into your life. It may come through someone familiar, someone you trust, someone who has been planning this moment carefully while pretending to care. But heaven says, I order you to listen. For this is not a coincidence. This is a divine interception sent directly from the throne of God to stop a trap designed to ruin you financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Archangel Michael stands before you now. His presence fills the unseen space around you, a vibration that feels like static in the air, a sudden coldness in the room, a pressure in your chest that feels heavy yet protective. That's not fear. That's the energy of heaven stepping between you and danger. Michael's voice echoes through your spirit, deep, commanding, unstoppable. My beloved child, you are moments away from a deception. A human hand will carry it, but a darker will is behind it. What looks like a blessing is a curse disguised in gold. In the invisible realm, angels are already circling your name. They whisper it into heaven's registry, sealing it with light. But the forces that work against you are restless. Somewhere, in a quiet corner of your city, a conversation is happening about you, about your money, your trust, your faith. Someone who smiled at you recently, someone whose words made you feel safe, has been offered something by the enemy. Take what belongs to them, and I will give you more. But they didn't count on this, heaven's early warning system. The very fact that you're hearing this now means the trap was detected before it was triggered. God doesn't warn everyone, He warns only those who still have purpose left to fulfill. Heaven says, they thought they could steal quietly. They thought you were asleep. But I have awakened your soul before the thief arrives. Within the next hour, something will happen. It may look small, a message on your phone, an offer that seems innocent, an apology that feels strange. You might even sense excitement or confusion. That's how deceit enters, not with horns, but with honey. Don't sign. Don't reply. Don't confirm. Don't act out of kindness or guilt. Stand still. Heaven's soldiers are already intercepting the frequency behind that move. Michael lifts his sword high. The blade glows white-hot with holy flame, and you can hear it cutting through the lies forming against you. He is not just defending your finances, he's defending your timeline. Because if this trap succeeds, it doesn't just take your money, it alters your future. That's why the message says, 1 hour. Not because time is running out, but because time itself is being rewritten in your favor right now. The angel speaks again, his tone now softer, closer, as if he's standing right behind you. You must understand, child, that every blessing attracts imitation. Every pure gift calls forth a counterfeit. But heaven's wisdom is always one step ahead of corruption. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Suddenly, you may feel warmth in your palms or a ringing in your ears, physical proof of spiritual energy moving. It is not imagination. It is heaven's current flowing through your spirit, resetting your shield. You might even think of someone at this moment, their face flashing in your mind. That's not coincidence. That's the Spirit revealing the vessel of deception. Don't confront them yet. Just observe. Heaven will handle the exposure in its own perfect timing. God says, "Your money is sacred because it was earned through honesty." The enemy hates that. That's why he hides betrayal behind gifts. Right now, the angels of finance, those who guard abundance and purpose, are closing invisible locks around your name. Bank accounts, digital transfers, opportunities, all being sealed under heaven's jurisdiction for the next 60 minutes. Nothing evil can touch them. And in return, your spirit must stay still, silent, and alert. The less you speak, the louder heaven moves. When I command silence, Michael says, it is not to weaken you. It is to weaponize your stillness. Somewhere in the invisible, an evil plan is already collapsing. Paper contracts will be delayed. Calls will drop. Devices will glitch. Every digital route that carried deceit toward you will suddenly fail. The person orchestrating this will feel frustration rising, confusion, hesitation, even fear, because heaven is rewriting their plan while you read these words. Your body may feel tense right now, that's natural. The human frame is not used to carrying divine voltage. But know this, heaven is not here to scare you, it's here to secure you. This is not superstition. This is spiritual physics. Every action in darkness triggers an equal and opposite light reaction in heaven's favor. That reaction is unfolding now. Michael says again, don't take this as a joke. I do not send warnings for entertainment. The hand that tries to harm you has touched sacred ground. They will see loss, not you. Outside, the night feels heavier. But above you, unseen wings stretch wide. You are not surrounded by fear, you are surrounded by guardians. Every breath you take now is synchronized with the rhythm of divine protection. This is your hour of prevention. A time where nothing visible will happen, yet everything invisible will change. So listen closely, beloved. Stay calm. Say this quietly in your heart. God, I receive this warning. I trust your timing. Protect what I cannot see. As you say it, the hourglass turns. The countdown begins. Heaven watches. The trap collapses. The hour starts now. The hour has begun. The clock in heaven is ticking in rhythm with your pulse. Outside, everything looks normal, the streetlights glow, the wind hums, your phone sits silent. But in the unseen, there's movement. The enemy's messengers are aligning, whispering lies wrapped in promises. Somewhere, a message is being typed, a number being dialed, a tone of voice being rehearsed, all of it designed to make you say one word, yes. Archangel Michael stands behind you now, his aura radiating golden fire. You may feel it, a faint pressure between your shoulders, a tingling in your fingers, the invisible shield tightening around your energy field. His voice speaks through the stillness. My child, what you call coincidence, I call confrontation. The one who plans to approach you within this hour believes they are in control, but every step they take is being recorded in the book of consequences. The trap doesn't look evil. It looks polite. It looks urgent. Maybe a text offering a job, a friend promising a shortcut, a stranger smiling with opportunity. The danger lies not in their words, but in the timing. Heaven says, the right thing at the wrong time becomes the wrong thing. This is that time. The person who is about to reach out to you will use something familiar, a name, a memory, or an emotional weakness. They will remind you of the days you felt seen, appreciated, or rescued. They will speak softly, but their intention will bite hard. Heaven whispers, you will know them not by their face, but by the feeling that follows. If your spirit feels heavy after speaking to them, it's confirmation. If your peace fades the moment you agree to something, that is the alarm. The Holy Spirit doesn't shake your nerves, only deception does. Archangel Michael raises his sword again, and light spreads through invisible pathways, through phone towers, through financial systems, through every place where your name is written. The contracts prepared against you begin to crumble in the unseen. Heaven's law overrides man's law. Every false document, every fraudulent promise, every digital trick begins to lose power. This is what the enemy forgets, Michael says. When you attack a child of God, every weapon you build becomes evidence against you. The one who planned your ruin will soon be haunted by confusion. Their calls won't go through. Their emails will bounce. The more they try, the heavier the resistance grows. Their so-called surprise will turn into their own exposure. And yet, heaven asks you to stay quiet. Don't confront them. Don't warn them. Don't gloat. The energy of revenge attracts what you just escaped. The safest victory is stillness. Let heaven fight its own war. You sit there, maybe glancing at the clock, wondering if this is all real, if angels truly intervene in human business. And then, something strange happens. A message pops up on your screen, someone offering help, asking a question, or presenting a deal. You feel your pulse quicken. The very thing warned about has arrived. Heaven doesn't panic, it smiles. Because this is the test moment. You look at the message again. Something in it feels off. The words look kind, but your intuition tenses. You remember what the Archangel said, when love feels rushed, it is manipulation in disguise. So you wait. You don't reply. You breathe. In that silence, heaven moves. The angels intercept the transaction of energy between you and deception. What was supposed to be your downfall transforms into your awakening. Do you feel that? Michael whispers. That calm after the storm you didn't even see? That's your proof. Every minute that passes without your reaction strengthens the shield around you. Every second of stillness disarms the plan of chaos. Somewhere else, the one who plotted your financial ruin now feels strange anxiety. They check their accounts, their devices glitch, their messages delete themselves. Heaven is dismantling their tools one by one. They can't explain it, but their control is gone. Meanwhile, something begins to rise in you: faith, authority, clarity. You don't feel like a victim anymore. You feel protected, empowered, aligned. Beloved, Michael says, this was never about money. It was about mastery. Heaven wanted to teach you the art of spiritual discernment, how to recognize danger not with your eyes, but with your peace. He pauses. The wind shifts. You sense the energy of heaven clearing the space around you. The heaviness in your chest loosens, your breath deepens, your spirit lifts. The trap has failed. But heaven isn't finished. The hour of testing is also the hour of transfer, Michael explains. What they meant to take from you, heaven will now multiply. You may not see it instantly, but in the spiritual world, contracts of compensation are already being written in your name. Debts are reversing. Opportunities that once closed are reopening. The same people who plotted against you will soon hear of your restoration and wonder how you survived. They will call it luck, Michael smiles, but you and I will know it was strategy. Now, as the hour nears its end, your environment feels lighter. The spiritual interference fades. You've passed the test. The Archangel lowers his sword, touches it to the ground, and the sound it makes, like thunder turning into a heartbeat, seals your protection for the coming days. The danger is dissolved, he says. But remember, protection is not a moment, it is a mindset. Stay awake, stay kind, stay wise. Heaven's favor follows those who refuse to fall for imitation blessings. You look up, nothing looks different, yet everything feels different. That's how divine protection works. It doesn't always make noise, sometimes it's just peace. Heaven whispers one last time. When the false surprise fails, the true miracle begins. The hour that began in fear is ending in fire. Not the fire of destruction, the fire of transformation. As the trap dissolves, heaven begins its counterstrike, not with violence, but with victory. The same energy meant to rob you is now reversing direction. Everything they tried to take is coming back multiplied, purified, sanctified. You can't see it yet, but you can feel it, that warmth blooming inside your chest, the strange calm rising in your heart. It's the atmosphere of divine reversal. Archangel Michael stands in the center of your room, his wings spanning the unseen horizon. Sparks of blue and gold light fall from his armor as he raises the heavenly scroll that bears your name. On it, 1,000 erased curses now appear as blessings. He reads them aloud, and as he does, reality shifts. Your losses are being counted not as subtraction, but as investment. The weapon they formed failed, Michael declares, but heaven wastes nothing. What was meant to destroy you will now build your legacy. Far away, in the unseen network of cause and consequence, the trapper begins to tremble. The energy of their intent, the greed, the deceit, the malice, is boomeranging back toward them, tenfold. Not as punishment, but as lesson. Heaven's justice is not revenge, it is revelation. The darkness must witness the light it tried to silence, Michael whispers. That is the law of balance. You can almost hear it, a distant crack, like glass shattering. It's the spiritual contract breaking, the one where your name was being used without permission, the one forged in manipulation. The seal that once tied your energy to loss is gone. And in its place, heaven writes something new, inheritance restored. Now, waves of light ripple outward, from your home to your work, from your bank to your destiny. People who forgot you will remember. Payments that were delayed will arrive. Doors that were closed for years will open like they were waiting for this moment. Heaven moves fast after a warning, because obedience accelerates manifestation. God speaks now, His voice like thunder wrapped in love. Because you listened when others laughed, I have multiplied what was stolen. What the enemy hid in deception, I now reveal in divine compensation. You see flashes, scenes of what's coming. Someone apologizing. An unexpected call. A forgotten opportunity returning with interest. You realize that heaven's timing wasn't late, it was layered. Every no was protection in disguise, every delay a detour toward destiny. Michael lowers his sword, pressing its edge lightly against the earth. The ground glows, and from the light, you see shapes, coins, keys, contracts, rising like smoke. These, he says, are the symbols of your restoration. You ask softly, but why me? Why now? Michael smiles, that faint, knowing smile angels carry when they're revealing the obvious. Because heaven needed one obedient soul in this generation to prove that faith still works. He steps closer, the air thick with power. When you didn't reply to deception, when you didn't panic, you triggered a shift in the algorithm of your life. You changed your pattern from reaction to revelation. And that decision rewrote everything. Heaven doesn't reward perfection, it rewards alignment. You didn't have to fight, argue, or prove yourself. You simply had to trust. And that trust became your currency. Now, Michael continues, the same door they tried to close will be used by heaven to deliver your increase. Somewhere, a letter is being written, an email drafted, a person remembering your name, all triggered by this unseen shift. This is how divine reversal works. It moves in the silence between your panic and your peace. The angel raises his wings and begins to glow brighter, his entire being vibrating with the power of completion. This is the turnaround, he says. The hour that began as a warning now ends as a witness. The same timeline that carried danger now carries deliverance. And then he says something that makes your heart tremble. You think this was about money, but it was about mastery. Heaven was never protecting your finances, it was training your discernment. Because soon, you will guide others who face the same traps. You realize that this isn't just a rescue, it's a recruitment. Heaven has chosen you as a guardian in disguise, a silent teacher of wisdom forged in fire. Michael steps back, his wings folding gently, his light softening. The storm has passed, he says, but the testimony is just beginning. He looks upward, and a radiant portal opens above you, filling your space with shimmering gold. The wind shifts. You can almost hear laughter, not mocking, but joyful, the laughter of angels celebrating a soul that listened. Now, beloved, Michael says softly, watch what happens next. Within days, unexpected messages will reach you. Opportunities will align. People who once avoided you will seek you out again. You will feel like luck is suddenly on your side, but it won't be luck. It will be heaven's mathematics, balancing the books of your destiny. And just as you're beginning to smile, heaven whispers one final instruction. Do not announce your breakthrough. Let the enemy discover it through silence. Light does not shout, it simply shines. Then the light fades, leaving behind warmth, stillness, and the unmistakable feeling that something invisible has already changed everything. The warning became wisdom. The threat became training. The hour of danger became the hour of deliverance. And as your spirit settles into peace, you hear one final echo in the distance, the voice of Archangel Michael, calm, proud, eternal. It is done. Heaven says, what was meant to destroy you has already been reversed. The trap has turned into your testimony. Tap like if you receive this reversal, subscribe for more Archangel Michael revelations, and comment, the hour of danger turned into my deliverance. Because when you obey heaven's warning, your story ends not in fear, but in favor. When heaven warns and you listen, the universe bends in your favor. You may think the test was about money, about that one surprise that almost stole your peace, but heaven was aiming much higher, to reposition your destiny into abundance only few ever touch. The moment you chose silence instead of reaction, faith instead of fear, the divine algorithms began shifting. Archangel Michael stands now in radiant calm, the battlefield behind him quiet. His armor gleams not with warlight but with sunrise. The fight is over, he says. The reward has begun. It starts small, a forgotten payment suddenly clears, a door once closed opens easily, an idea you ignored now glows with potential. Heaven's currency is momentum. Each obedient choice multiplies in secret until it overflows in public. Michael explains. Every time you obey the unseen, the seen must obey you. That is divine law. You sense it, pressure lifting from your chest, the room lighter, your phone quiet but peaceful. The danger that once chased you is gone, and what remains is possibility. Heaven's payout isn't just wealth, it's restoration. People who spoke against you begin to remember your kindness. Those who used your trust now face their own reflection. The energies of deceit that once surrounded your name dissolve into dust, replaced by clarity. Your name is your frequency, Michael says. And heaven has tuned it to prosperity. Within days, blessings begin appearing in disguise, a new connection, an unexpected message, an opportunity you didn't ask for. But look deeper, these are not accidents, they are compensations. Heaven pays in alignment. The enemy took minutes from you, the angel continues, but God returns years. They stole attention, God gives purpose. They drain joy, God restores legacy. In the invisible ledgers of heaven, obedience carries compound interest. Every tear you held back, every anxious moment you replaced with prayer, accrues value. And then, the vision shifts. You see yourself standing in a vast hall, walls made of crystal, floors of living light. Around you, angels carry scrolls. Each scroll bears your name and a list of promises being fulfilled in real time. This is your payout, Michael says, but not all in gold. Some of it comes as peace that never fades, clarity that never confuses, strength that never breaks. The angel touches your forehead, and for a moment, you glimpse timelines, one where you fell for the trap, and another where you escaped it. In the first, you see ruin, in the second, reward. And then you understand, heaven never wanted to test your faith, it wanted to upgrade it. You were not chosen to survive, Michael smiles, you were chosen to shine. Heaven doesn't send wealth to the careless, it entrusts it to the wise. You've become one of them. The proof is in the calm that follows chaos, the kind of peace no money can buy, no storm can break. And as light spreads through your body, you feel words settling in your spirit, not as sound but as truth. You passed the hour. Now begins your era. Heaven says, you obeyed, and now I overflow. What you lost will return sevenfold. Tap like if you claim your divine payout, subscribe for more Archangel Michael revelations, and comment, my obedience activated my overflow. Because when faith meets timing, miracles pay in full. The hourglass has turned again, but this time, it's not counting down to danger, it's counting up to divine overflow. The sand that once measured your trial now glows like molten gold. Every grain represents a moment of faith, every second you stayed calm when chaos knocked, every breath you took instead of breaking down. Heaven never forgets those moments. In fact, that's where its greatest calculations begin. Archangel Michael stands before a celestial table, a massive ledger open before him, the Book of Exchange. Across its surface, names shimmer in living light. Some glow faintly, some flicker, but your name burns steady and strong. This one, Michael declares, his voice echoing through the heavenly chambers, did not flinch when tested. Begin the transfer. The angels around him move instantly. Streams of light flow downward, from heavenly storage to earthly form. To human eyes, it looks like coincidence, refunds, unexpected calls, career breaks, people repaying debts they forgot. But to heaven, it's transaction complete. When faith matures, fortune moves, Michael says. He lifts the hourglass itself, turns it upside down, and as the last grain drops, you feel a shift inside your chest, a vibration that says, something just changed in the invisible. You check your surroundings, everything looks the same, but you know it's not. You've entered a new energetic economy. The angel continues. The world trades with numbers. Heaven trades with obedience. You have deposited trust, now receive return. The light expands. You see visions of water becoming rivers, seeds becoming trees, ideas turning into empires. It's all connected to the one decision you made, to listen, to wait, to trust. The patience that cost you comfort has now opened a vault of reward. Then, Michael raises his sword and points it toward the earth. A column of light shoots downward, touching cities, homes, hearts. The transfer is not just money, he declares. It is the wealth of wisdom, the abundance of understanding, the inheritance of insight. Heaven is not paying you to live lavishly, it's positioning you to live purposefully. You are now part of what the angels call the faithful economy, those who guard their blessings by guarding their peace. In your spirit, you hear this whisper. The test was never about survival, it was about stewardship. As this realization settles in, your perception sharpens. People look at you differently, some with confusion, some with admiration. They sense that your energy has shifted, even if they can't explain why. That's because you now carry spiritual equity. The unseen recognizes you before the visible does. Michael lowers his wings and looks at you with the quiet pride of a commander watching a soldier rise. The moment you said yes to obedience, heaven rewrote your name on a new page, he says. The page of providers. This is what it means, your blessings will not stop with you. You'll help others stand when they're about to fall. You'll warn others before their traps close. You'll speak and it will carry power, because it comes from proof. You are now a living prophecy, the proof that listening to heaven changes outcomes. The angel's voice softens again. The prophetic hourglass will appear again. Not as a threat this time, but as a timer of transfer. Every test from now on will birth treasure faster, for the faithful learn speed through surrender. As he fades into light, you feel a final warmth in your hands, the mark of divine transaction complete. The same hands that almost signed your downfall now hold the code to abundance. The hourglass stops glowing. A quiet whisper fills the air. It is settled. Heaven says, your test was the transaction. Your faith was the signature. The transfer is active. Tap like if you receive this prophetic payout, subscribe for more Archangel Michael revelations, and comment, "My obedience released my inheritance." Because when God's clock turns in your favor, even time becomes your treasure. There is silence in heaven now. The kind that feels like completion. The storm of tests has passed, the hourglass has stopped, and the courtroom of heaven stands still, waiting for the final decree. The angels are no longer in motion, they are assembled, watching, their wings folded, their eyes fixed on the scroll glowing before the throne. This is the last chapter of your trial. The book that began with warning will now close with reward. Archangel Michael stands at the center. The light around him is so bright it bends time itself. Every trial you faced, every fear you fought, every tear you shed, it all circles him in rings of memory, dissolving into gold dust. What once looked like pain now glows as proof. Heaven does not erase your scars, it anoints them. The test was not to break you, Michael says gently, but to brand you. You carry heaven's mark now, the symbol of one who endures and evolves. He lifts the scroll bearing your name. The angels kneel. A beam of pure light falls across it, burning through the last remnants of the old chapter, the one labeled trial, delay, struggle. As the fire fades, a new title appears, written in living light, divine prosperity, sealed in eternity. Heaven's voice echoes like 1,000 waterfalls. This one is finished with loss. You feel it instantly. The pressure in your chest releases. The spiritual weight that's followed you for months, even years, lifts like fog burned away by sunrise. For the first time, you feel what true safety is, not the absence of attack, but the certainty of protection. Michael continues. What was once unstable will now stand. What was fragile will now flourish. Every area of lack will become a field of abundance. You see flashes again, your future unfolding like a sunrise. A home that feels peaceful, finances that flow freely, relationships healed by honesty. Not because the world changes, but because you have. You no longer attract lessons, Michael says. You now attract legacies. The angel gestures, and from his hand, golden seals drift through the air, attaching themselves to unseen ledgers with your name on them. Each seal locks your new frequency in place. Blessings cannot be reversed, peace cannot be stolen, joy cannot be manipulated. Then heaven speaks again, softer this time, not a shout, but a whisper that fills every corner of creation. What was promised is now present. What was waiting is now walking. You may not realize it yet, but your life has already shifted. The doors that once resisted will open naturally. The people meant for your next chapter will start to appear, drawn to your new vibration. The things you chase will begin to find you. Because divine alignment always follows divine obedience. Michael smiles. The battle-worn sword he carried since your first warning now glows white-hot one last time. He drives it into the invisible floor, sealing your atmosphere. This seal, he declares, cannot be undone by man or spirit. It is final. Light ripples out from the point where his blade strikes, traveling across your timeline, past, present, and future. You see scenes of your life replaying, but this time, every dark moment is followed by restoration. Every loss is followed by laughter. Every betrayal becomes a bridge. You see? Michael asks softly. Nothing was wasted. Not one tear. Not one heartbreak. Every second of sorrow bought this peace. You feel tears rise, not of pain, but of gratitude. You realize now that heaven didn't delay your breakthrough, it was designing it. Every waiting season was calibration. Every silent night was construction. And now, the construction is complete. The angels begin to sing, low at first, then louder, until the very air vibrates with harmony. It's not music, it's mathematics in motion, frequencies weaving light into your reality. You understand suddenly that heaven doesn't bless with words, it blesses with sound. The song crescendos as Michael raises both hands. He looks directly at you and speaks the final decree. From this day forward, your name is synonymous with provision. Your presence will bring peace wherever you walk. You will no longer strive, you will flow. The decree seals with a flash of light that feels like thunder passing through your bones. Your spirit aligns completely. It is done, Michael says one final time, his voice now soft, almost human. The book of trials is closed. The era of blessings begins. The light fades slowly. The wings disappear. The air grows still again. But nothing is the same. Your heart beats slower. Your thoughts feel clear. Even the shadows in your room seem lighter. Heaven's silence now means security, not distance. You are no longer the one waiting for miracles, you are the one walking in them. And in that quiet, a whisper drifts through your soul, not from the sky this time, but from within you. You survived to shine. Heaven says, the book of trials is closed. You have entered your era of divine prosperity. Tap like if you receive this final decree, subscribe for more Archangel Michael messages, and comment, "It is sealed in heaven." Because when your name is written in light, no darkness can erase it. The silence that followed the decree wasn't emptiness, it was activation. What heaven sealed in eternity has now begun to unfold in time. The angels have returned to their posts, and the world around you quietly bends toward your new vibration. The same reality you lived in yesterday now responds to you differently. The shadows that once stalked your steps recoil. Even your thoughts feel lighter, your breath steadier. The air hums faintly, a rhythm that matches your heartbeat. You've entered the era of blessings, Michael says. But it's not a season to rest, it's a calling to radiate. He walks beside you now, not as a warrior but as a teacher. His sword glows dimly, resting against his shoulder. Around him the world glimmers with hidden light, every tree, every streetlight, every face passing you on the sidewalk. All of creation seems aware that something sacred is walking here. You are not carrying reward, Michael continues, you are carrying resonance. Wherever your feet touch, the vibration of heaven follows. You start to notice it, people meeting your eyes linger a little longer. Strangers smile without knowing why. The energy you project feels magnetic, safe, healing. This is how heaven broadcasts through the faithful, by making presence itself the proof. Michael gestures ahead. The path in front of you splits into two glowing lines, one golden, one gray. The gray road is easy, he explains, the golden one is divine. Blessing does not exempt you from choice. It empowers your choices to ripple farther. He turns to you with a look of quiet authority. Now that you've been blessed, the test becomes stewardship. You are no longer surviving heaven's plan, you are shaping it. The angel extends his hand, and a pulse of energy runs through your chest. In that instant, visions flood your mind, of people you will help, hearts you will heal, lives you will touch simply by speaking light into them. This isn't imagination, it's assignment. Heaven has a pattern, every sealed soul becomes a signal tower. You're no longer waiting for divine messages, you are one. Your words, your work, your energy all become channels through which God communicates hope to those still stuck in fear. Your victories, Michael says, are not trophies, they're templates. Others will learn from your peace. And now you see it, the true payout wasn't money, property, or status. It's authority. A spiritual credibility that cannot be faked or borrowed. When you speak now, unseen things listen. When you pray, atmospheres shift. The same faith that saved you now multiplies through you. You walk further, and the world seems to mirror your inner state. Flowers bloom brighter. Conversations go smoother. Unexpected help appears just before you need it. That's what the era of blessings feels like, not extravagance, but effortless alignment. Everything works because you work with heaven. Michael stops at a luminous gate shimmering ahead. Beyond it, light flows like water. This is not the end, he says, this is the entrance to your influence. From this point, the universe will recognize your tone. Speak with care, for every word carries creation. He raises his hand, and symbols of light pour from his palm, settling around your heart. These are the marks of the beacon, he says. Compassion, clarity, and courage. Walk in them, and your presence will heal others before you even speak. A calm joy fills you. Not the quick happiness of success, but the steady glow of knowing you are seen, guided, partnered with heaven itself. The sealed soul, Michael explains, cannot be shaken because it doesn't live against the world, it vibrates through it. You glance at him. So what now? He smiles, eyes full of gentle fire. Now, he says, you live. You laugh. You love without fear. You lead without pride. You build without greed. You serve without exhaustion. That is the true evidence of the blessing, when joy becomes your default setting. He places his sword tip down into the earth. The ground responds, pulsing once, sending light racing out across the horizon. You realize it's not just your life changing, it's everything around you. Every act of grace you commit now triggers unseen reformations. Your personal peace becomes a public prophecy. The angel steps back into the light. Go, he says, become the proof that faith is functional. Walk like one who knows heaven lives within. Your story is no longer about rescue, it's about rain. The wind rises one last time. His voice fades into it, but the words stay etched in your spirit. Blessings are not the end of the journey, they are the beginning of responsibility. You breathe in. The world exhales with you. The era of blessings has officially begun, heaven says. You are not waiting for favor, you are favor walking. The sealed soul shines without fear, because light doesn't compete, it completes. Tap like if you feel this era of blessings awakening inside you, subscribe for more Archangel Michael messages, and comment, I walk as heaven's beacon. Because when light learns to live through you, darkness forgets your name. The air feels different now, clean, bright, alive. You've crossed the boundary between trial and triumph, but instead of pride, what fills you is awe. The earth itself seems to pause for a breath as heaven prepares its final act. The archangel's presence stirs again, but softer this time, no thunder, no battle cry, only radiance that feels like sunrise breaking through your skin. Michael steps from the light, his wings folded close. His armor no longer burns with war, it gleams like morning dew. Around him, countless smaller lights gather, other angels, guardians, watchers, and souls who have walked this same path. They form a circle of gold that glows with a heartbeat rhythm. You have finished the passage, Michael says, his tone gentle, the way a father speaks to a child returning home. You endured what few understand. You chose faith when fear was fashionable, silence when anger was easier. Now, heaven crowns what humility has built. He raises his hand, and from the center of that luminous circle, a single crown of light emerges. It is not made of jewels or gold but of memories, the kind words you spoke when no one heard, the tears you wiped that weren't your own, the prayers you whispered for others even when you were breaking. Every selfless act you thought forgotten is woven into this crown. This is your crown of light, Michael says. It cannot be stolen, sold, or tarnished. It shines only when worn in humility. The angels begin to sing. The melody is unlike any sound on earth. It feels like every language and every silence blended together. As they sing, the crown lowers slowly toward your head. You close your eyes. When it touches you, there is no weight, only warmth, a golden pulse spreading from your mind down to your heart, anchoring itself in your soul. Michael speaks again. This crown is not a symbol of status, it is a signal. Wherever you walk, heaven will recognize its own. You open your eyes, and the world around you is luminous. Every shadow holds light at its edge. Every sound hums with purpose. You realize you are seeing reality the way heaven does, not as chaos, but as choreography. Everything is connected, even what once felt meaningless. This vision, Michael continues, is the true reward. To see the world not as broken, but as becoming. To love it enough to heal it, not judge it. He gestures toward the horizon, where countless threads of light weave upward into the clouds. These are the lives you will touch, he says. Not through sermons, but through your being. Each time you smile with peace, someone in despair remembers hope. Each time you forgive, another soul finds permission to start again. The crown of light is contagious. You take a step forward, and the air ripples. The ground beneath you feels alive, humming with recognition. You sense the presence of those who will cross your path, strangers you haven't met yet, faces you'll comfort, voices you'll calm. The blessing is not static, it is dynamic, a living river flowing through you. You are not a monument, Michael says, you are a movement. He kneels slightly, his massive wings lowering in reverence, not to worship you, but to honor the Creator within you. It's the most humbling moment of your life. The Archangel of power bows, not to your ego, but to your obedience. When heaven crowns the humble, he says, it is not to elevate them above others, it is to make them visible so others may find the light. You feel tears again, but this time they're not from pain or relief, they're from recognition. You finally understand why you endured so much. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every false start, it was preparation for this, to carry blessing without arrogance, to shine without blinding, to lead without control. You are now a keeper of the light, Michael declares. Go and illuminate quietly. Speak only when love commands it. Act only when peace confirms it. Remember, power without purity corrodes, but power with humility creates. He extends one final blessing, tracing a circle of flame in the air that encircles you like a halo. This circle, he says, is your covenant. As long as you walk in truth, heaven walks with you. As long as you lead with compassion, no shadow can touch your legacy. The circle seals with a soft thunderclap. The angels disperse like stars returning to the night sky. Michael remains a moment longer, watching you. The story is not ending, he smiles. It's expanding. Live as proof that light can wear human skin. And with that, he fades, his final words echoing through the stillness of your spirit. The crown was never given for what you survived, it was given for how you loved while surviving. You stand quietly, the world shimmering around you. You don't feel larger, you feel lighter. Everything that once felt heavy now feels sacred. This is what it means to be crowned, to carry light that doesn't need to be seen to change everything it touches. Heaven says, the humble shine longer. The quiet hearts carry crowns unseen. Tap like if you feel the crown of light awakening in you, subscribe for more Archangel Michael messages, and comment I am crowned with humility and light. Because the true proof of divine favor isn't glory, it's gentleness. And when the gentle rise, heaven smiles.